Hello, everyone. It's time for more of our 100 favorite non superhero movies of all time. And joining us again are Austin the Day Ghost
Hello.
and Connor the Day Nielsen.
If you say so.
Guys, we've made so much headway. We've covered 20 films in 3 parts because there are 3 of us. And we feel the need to actually discuss the films a little bit and not just say the names. Because, I mean, we can do the whole thing now if we just, gunshot down the list. But I don't think any of the 3 of us are even capable of that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we could do that if we tried. You'd start saying, you're like, all right, I'm gonna blow through this. Then you get to, to a movie and be like, okay, I have to explain that. What the hell is that doing on this list? So we are at number 80, I do believe. The last thing I said was the Simpsons movie, and Austin shocked the universe by not by telling us that he didn't include that and that he forgot to even think of it.
Yeah. No, I like that movie. It would be like it probably would be even low on my runners up, but I do really like that movie.
I still
There
can't
is
believe I
a
had it and you
thing
don't. That's so crazy.
from the Simpsons movie that I remembered right after we stopped recording. I'm like, God, how did I not? I quote that like probably more often than anything else from that movie, which is the bomb robot, red wire, yellow wire.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
The
he said he told you,
pressure.
but I didn't believe him.
Hi, everybody in the comments. How's it going, folks? Interact with us, and we'll make sure to look at and read some of your comments. Real Warzog says it'll take 20 parts. I love listening to y'all. Well, I'm glad you don't mind if it takes 20 parts, because, you know, that could totally happen.
Did
Nicholas.
say I'll take 20 parts. Maybe that's a bit of a Freudian slip there, Cam. It's going to take 20 parts.
Oh, I thought that's what he meant. I assumed it was a typo and I was correcting it. I don't know what "I'll take 20 parts" means.
He'll take
Like he would he'll take
yeah.
it. He'll take
Oh,
20.
he's
That's
fine
good.
with that. Okay. I'm sorry
Yeah.
for putting words in your mouth. I didn't read the contraction properly. Apologies. Um. Anyway, good to see you guys. Slipmaker says he's so excited. Me too. Let's get into it. Here we go. Okay, number 79. You gotta go back to the other parts to get the rest of them. We're not gonna recap them. And I think we're starting with Connor still, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that how
Well,
the
Yeah.
madness goes? What's that?
Hmm?
No, not 79, 80.
It's 80. Yeah. I know you threw me off too. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Bear with me, folks. I just came back from an 11-day, 4,000-mile trip, and I'm not all there right now. Good luck, Connor.
You also just got done doing an hour and a half stream on Conan, so
That's true. Conan the Barbarian.
not to be
There he is.
not not the Conan who wrote for The Simpsons, but a different Conan.
Yeah, because if it was that Conan, that Conan would be typing away at his keyboard, going "La, la."
Monorail.
Monorail.
That was Matt Arnold. I don't know what
Ah.
that voice was. I'm sorry.
So
Yeah,
so
you just said monorail. Like, sorry, go ahead, Connor. Number 80.
so Austin, your last movie at the end of last episode was a James Bond film featuring a villain performance by Robert Davi. My number
Yes.
80 actually has Robert Davi in it.
Oh.
He has a pretty small, a supporting role in my favorite Paul Verhoeven film, Showgirls.
That's true, he is in that.
He
I
is
always
one of the
forget that's
best lines in the
Verhoeven.
movie.
I'm so glad you said that.
Um, Look, so this is maybe one of the most notorious films that's ever been released. I don't blame anybody for not liking this movie. It is a deeply strange film. Um, so I don't know. Like I'll get into a little bit, but the notion that this is the worst film of any year, let alone an entire decade, is laughable. So I think it's interesting that when Paul Verhoeven makes a movie about space marines blowing up alien bugs, that one's allowed to get reappraised. But when it's about Las Vegas strippers, that one's okay to hate for decades and decades and decades. I get why, because this is a much weirder movie than Starship Troopers, but I think like people do tend to conveniently forget that this is the guy who made RoboCop, and this is the guy who made like some of the like maybe one of the five most imitated filmmakers ever. He has a very broad, exaggerated style that I think a lot of people, is really appealing, and a lot of people want to go for it. But whenever I see anybody attempt Verhoeven, it just really reeks of a Verhoeven riff or like a Verhoeven wannabe energy, and it never quite strikes the right frequency. He makes it look so easy. And the Showgirls is my favorite because yeah, it's a weird movie, and like I said, I don't fault anyone for not liking this, because it is not really a satire in the way that Verhoeven's movies are kind of pretty easy to map satire onto. It has that same tone, but I actually think this is more of a parody, but it's not like a Zaz film or like a scary movie parody. The plot of this movie is it's a girl just trying to make it. She's moving to the big city and she's starting out small, pulls herself up by the bootstraps, and is going to make it in her profession. But in this movie, the big city she's moving to is Las Vegas, and the industry she wants to succeed in is an industry that nobody should ever really want to, which is erotic dancing in Las Vegas. So the whole thing kind of has like this kind of like warped sort of sense of the success story, the rags to riches story. And everybody in this is a terrible person. And if they're not, they get brutalized and they get punished and they get like basically um, punished for being a good person. There's like one good person in this movie, but it famously stars Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. This ruined Kyle MacLachlan's career. Robert Davi's in it. Like it has a pretty great cast, and everyone is, I think, actually pretty good in it. But Gina Gershon is the best performance in this. She knows exactly what she's doing, but it is like a really weird movie. It's if you're trying to like, it was very much marketed on its NC-17 rating. So if you're looking for titillation, it is just like completely overstimulating with human flesh that it is not like erotic at all. So like not satisfying you in that way. Okay, maybe it's like kind of campy, hee hee. But then the last 20 minutes are so unpleasant, you can't just like bring some friends over and enjoy it. It's also kind of long, but it's complete desire to just zag and like try to like not appeal anybody makes me like it. It's like the opposite of pandering. And so something about that is just so strange, and it should be a movie that annoys me or bothers me. But that's the Verhoeven touch. He does have something about the way he puts films together that seem counterintuitive, but the skill and the vision is there. And I have seen this movie like 5 times. I keep finding people to show this to. The amount of times I've thought about it, the amount of times I've seen it, I don't think this is a masterpiece by any stretch. Uh, but the amount of times I want to watch this, it has to be on my list of favorites. So I will stand by Showgirls and this Vinegar Syndrome 4K. It looks great. So,
No,
anyways,
that
that's my
looks
number one.
amazing.
It does. That's a cool cover.
Showgirls is good. I don't love Showgirls by any means. Like of the Verhoeven movies I've seen, it's the weakest for me, but I do like it. Like it is pretty good, I would say.
And I've still never seen it. I've only listened to Ebert talk about it.
That's a funny review.
Yeah, it is. But
Does he hate that movie or does he like it?
well, he had
Because he basically wrote a very similar movie, which is my
well,
Showgirls.
he had
It's not far off.
he said the same thing Connor said a minute ago, which is he was expecting something erotic, and it's not actually erotic, and it kind of makes me wonder, Connor, if I. And I'll have to watch it to see what I think about it. But if it has that Starship Troopers thing where it's just misunderstood, where like people just don't get what it was even after, because when I saw Starship Troopers, I was like, people clearly don't understand what the point of this was.
And I don't understand how that happened more than once. Like it's the man
Yeah.
who did Nukem, Nuclear Family. Like, you know, where we like this guy's a fascist.
And people
Like,
were
have
people
you
were
not watched any of his other movies?
yeah,
Well,
nobody was confused about RoboCop. Maybe it helped that
Yeah.
that was like more traditionally entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, and Austin, you said this in your letterbox review of Showgirls, and you are right. Where it's like if you remove the sort of like meta element of Showgirls in terms of like, okay, what's this getting at? It really doesn't work as a satisfying narrative because like all the characters suck. um, whereas like you can like be a kid and like RoboCop, and you're not really aware of kind of the satire at play. But that
Just
is
same with
what I
Total
like.
Recall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
But if you know
that
it's
is
supposed
what
to
I
be a
like.
parody, if you're right about the parody thing, then it's fine that nobody's likable because there's lots of parodies we like that.
Yeah, but I also think like I guess like if you want to go into satire, like what's the target of the satire? The
Yeah.
target is the audience. Like it is going after the audience for like if you want to be the one of these people that has to go out and make it, then you got to be a terrible person if you want to make it. Like it is one of the most cynical movies I've ever seen, and I mean that as a
Well,
compliment.
I think because I didn't remember writing that, but I can clock in what I was getting at, which is RoboCop. You don't have to understand the satire. You can go in completely like you don't understand any of it. You don't know that it's satire. It goes completely over your head. That's a good action movie.
It's working on multiple
Mean
levels.
Girls, you have to be on that same wavelength with it.
You mean Showgirls?
So
I
I
think
agree
it
with what I
is-
said before.
But like I will say like I get why that would be less appealing to a lot of audiences, but it is what I like about it and why it is my
Yeah.
favorite. So yeah.
When you're on that wavelength, like you're enjoying it for the way to enjoy it, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Anyways,
I
Robert
also-
Davi's also in it.
I also wonder if it was like a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. Like, does that work better if it comes out 10 years later? Because there were a lot of like kind of well-liked pseudo-erotic movies coming out at that same time. I wonder if part of the issue wasn't just the title of it, the advertising.
Marketing was definitely a part of it, but I think the only reason it even really happens is because Verhoeven had made Basic Instinct, which was a big erotic thriller hit. And so
Okay.
I think the only way he could get this movie was at this time. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think the marketing is also probably bit it in the butt. I will say, you said Roger Ebert. I was remembering Gene Siskel talking about Showgirls, and his review is hilarious, where he's just like, Elizabeth Berkley isn't hot.
Oh yeah.
It's really funny to hear him say that.
He did not enjoy the pool scene.
Bob the Hunt just put in a $20 super chat. Let me read that real quick before we move on to Austin's 80. Thanks a lot for the support, man. Really appreciate it. Big super chat. This is totally off topic, but can I put in a request for Happy Happy Joy Joy, the Ren and Stimpy story? I didn't even know there was a doc about that.
Same, yeah.
He says it's a documentary about the history of Ren and Stimpy. I could guess that based on the title. Even if you don't like the show, the story is pretty wild. Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw that into.
I liked that show as a kid. I'm interested to see what that's like.
I liked what
I
little
know
I
there's
saw of
crazy
it.
stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, and for everybody else, like usually we take request over Patreon, but I will certainly honor that with a $20 super chat, no problem.
Cool.
I just don't want to make like too much of a regular habit. Like I'm not gonna advertise if you want to leave $15 or $20 for a super chat. We'll take requests because otherwise they'll build up way too much. We've already got a pretty big log, so I would probably cap that off at 1 or 2 a show if more folks wanted to do that. Just want to say that real quick in case suddenly we get a flood of them, because that could be not cool for you guys when you have to wait like a whole year, which we've had some folks this year that have had to wait that long, because I've had to take a number of weeks off this year. Bob the Hun. Sorry, let me get this in real quick.
Oh, you're good. With my next one, I can throw out my weird asterisks now, in that I had a joke going into doing this one, and if we had done more last time, I could have done it. Not going to do it this time. I did not. No, I did. Obviously, there was no way of planning this.
We
It's
all
just
like
odd timing.
Scream, right?
Yeah, exactly. My next one is In the Mouth of Madness, which of
Yeah.
course is my favorite Sam Neill performance. Part of me thinks it sucks I have to talk about this now, because I have to talk about things that have happened
It's also
recently.
good
At the same
timing,
time,
though.
yeah. At the same time, it's like part of me is glad that I get to talk about it now, while that's a thing. But
Well, it's a good tribute.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he's passed, and this is one of my favorite movies.
No, exactly. And he's wonderful in this movie. For those of you who don't know, this is a John Carpenter movie that's very kind of Lovecraftian, and also looking at Stephen King a bit. And it's about a writer that goes missing, and Sam Neill's a private eye who's basically just John Carpenter. He's a cynical, smoking old guy that's gonna save the day and find this writer. And it's him walking around seeing all this supernatural weird stuff and being like, that's a hoax, that's ridiculous, I don't buy into any of this. This is all stupid. And it slowly just kind of breaks down on him, and he goes crazy. Again, very Lovecraftian in that way. And he's wonderful on both sides of it. Obviously one of those actors that's just always great. But like I said, easily probably my favorite Sam Neill performance. This isn't the last Sam Neill thing I have. Again, it's weird that it's coming up now, because I will have another one on this episode. It's like within the next 5. But I do think that this is my favorite performance of his, even though I think he does have a movie that is better than this. But yeah, and I think the effects in this movie are really great. It's part of me wants to say it's underrated, and that it kind of gets dismissed by people sometimes. But on the other side, I know a lot of people that think that this is one of his best movies, which I don't have exactly, but I do really like it. That Carpenter, I mean. But yeah, just overall, I think this is kind of his last really great movie. John Carpenter again, not Sam Neill.
Which suggests that you have 9 other Carpenter movies on your list. You're like, I don't think it's one of his best movies. It's number 80 on my favorite 100 movies.
I can neither confirm nor deny. Anyways, he's my favorite director. Okay, give me a break.
I started watching. I have not seen In the Mouth of Madness, but I did pick up that Arrow set.
And this is probably my favorite like physical movie I own. It looks so good.
So cool.
That cover's awesome.
I think that's Francesco Francavilla, the comic book artist, did like.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
He did. Yeah, and he got really creative with like all the artwork on the discs and like the booklet, and he did a lot of work for that. I popped it in, and that movie, that disc looks amazing, and I'm excited to watch that this October.
Oh, hell yeah.
Austin, I don't know if you're planning it for Spooky Mania, but that would be a good pick.
So yeah, I completely forgot. I thought about this the other day, because I'm gonna try, because again, he's my favorite director. Every time we do Spooky Mania, I will have one Carpenter film. Since last year, I've had it locked on. It would be The Fog. Because of Sam Neill's passing, I feel like I should move it to this. So I will do this instead. But yeah, so we will do this at Spooky Mania.
I still got to figure out what my picks are going to be. The main.
I gotta figure out my 5th.
The main scene, because I've only seen that movie one time, and I was real taken aback by it, and like that's I obviously not my favorite genre and the kind of thing that I usually go to, but like I was really impressed with it. And it's kind of disturbing. The scene I most remember is when he just keeps trying to get away from that town and he can't get away from the town and he keeps driving back to it. Uh
Yeah.
that stuck with me.
No, that's a really great sequence. All of that, like him trying to leave the town stuff, is really effective. Especially the scariest part is the Hayden Christensen cameo, where he just pops in as a child.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
remember. I didn't remember that.
yeah. Still a great movie. Again, not my favorite Carpenter movie, but really good.
Well, my number 80, uh, I'm trying to find cool segues because you guys keep doing segues. This is a movie that is also like what Austin just described. Directed by a guy that I think has made better movies than this. And that if memory serves, I guess I can look. I think I also have a movie by this director higher on my list, but not 9 times. So that's when Austin and I kind of diverge, I guess. But my number 80 is a thriller sort of horror movie, I guess more of a thriller that came out the same year my wife and I got married. And part of the reason it's as high as it is because this was a great theater experience for my wife and I, and it's one of her favorite movies in this genre. But I picked Cloverfield.
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's a Matt Reeves directed movie, and everybody gives
Yes.
Abrams credit for it. I think a lot of people probably think he directed it because his name was all over the advertising, and that initial teaser, where that's like really famous, kind of guerrilla advertising where you have no idea what the thing is even gonna be about. It was like produced by JJ. It was just like real big letters. And his name was so associated with it, people just assume he directed it. But he didn't. It was a Reeves movie just a few years before he got Planet of the Apes. And it's a found footage thing, which I find that when it's really working for me, I'm kind of a sucker for. Like, I don't think of myself as a big found footage fan, but like, I like that movie and I like Chronicle a lot. And so, like, I guess when that's really working for me, I'm kind of a sucker for it. But I don't always like that thing. I think it's one of the better examples of it where I'm more or less buying that the found footage aspect of it like actually works. It doesn't cheat as often as some other things that I've seen that do that. I think the way it conceals what the monster looks like through most of it is really cool. And I'm buying all the like visual effects in the like low quality camera footage of like a Hi8 or whatever it is they're using. I always thought that was really cool. Was never like the biggest fan of any of the characters in the movie. Like they're fine. It's much less about the story and much more about the ride that it takes you on and the kind of novelty of the premise and just the spectacle of it and the setting, like the way it uses New York is really cool. And it's been a while since I've seen it. I remember not loving like the very end, but I can't remember why right now. Like I just remember there being something about that kind of loses me, but I forget. I think it's sort of sequel because they don't have a lot to do with each other. 10 Cloverfield Lane is probably technically a better movie, but I put this on instead of it just because I think I've only seen that once, and this is a kind of more formative thing for me, like I in my early 20s. It's kind of a divisive movie. Like a lot of people don't care for it, but
I
I
like
I had
Cloverfield.
heard a lot of people talk about not liking that when it came out, and I didn't actually watch it until 10 Cloverfield Lane was coming out.
oh,
Or maybe I didn't even watch till the Cloverfield Paradox was coming out. Like I dragged my feet to finally watching that, and I really liked it.
oh, did you? Cool.
I thought it was super cool, and
I
I didn't
thought
even
one of
know
you
Matt
guys was gonna
Reeves.
roll your eyes at me and throw your hands in the air.
No, I was more just surprised. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, me neither. I don't really associate that with you, but
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm glad I know that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah,
Is that a thing I never talk about? I don't even know.
I was 10 seeing that teaser, so I was like locked in. I was like, "What is this? I need to know more."
It was so
And like,
mysterious. Yeah, I loved it.
yeah,
It was one of the best advertising campaigns of all time.
I still remember like coming home from school and googling like, "What is the Cloverfield monster? What does it look like? What's it gonna be?" And like, I remember my mom taking me to go see it, and everyone being like, "That was so disappointing. It was such a letdown." And 10-year-old me being like, "Oh my god, that was so cool."
Well, I thought it did such a great job at creating just this like palpable terror energy, like just like this like
Yeah.
that electric buzz
Yeah.
of pandemonium. It's so effective at that.
Well, and I think Cloverfield, just in terms of that genre of found footage, is maybe the most like meticulously put together. Like it's so like just like well storyboarded in a way to make you feel like it isn't. Where like
Mhm.
it's so well put together to make you think that it's just off the cuff, like, oh, I'm just doing whatever. But like when you're actually like breaking down the shots, it's like, oh, like, and then we lock into like just like a really cool film shot that's showing like this part of the monster, giving you like a bit of a hint of what's going on. It's really well put together.
You're right. Like it feels
It doesn't.
arbitrary. It feels amateurish, and then you start, especially when you get to like the third act in effect shots. You're like, oh wait, it can't be shot that way. There's all these effect shots in it.
Yeah, there's so much
Well, and
thought put into making it look like there's no thought put into how it's filmed.
That's an excellent point. Yeah.
but similar to that, they do such a great job at coming up with a variety of situations to put the characters in, but
Yeah.
making it be character motivated. And they're just kind of like drunk college students going, I don't know, let's try this.
Yeah.
But that leads them to coming up with a variety of different things to do. Like it is really cool, like kind of putting in this, what if we did this and what if we did that, but making it feel natural through the characters.
It's almost coming of age in a weird way, like in a single evening. Where it's like, look how much these kids have to mature just to survive.
And Matt Reeves was
and
like,
you're
God
right, like,
damn it, Escape from New York didn't have that poster shot at the Statue of Liberty head. I'm going to put it in my movie.
Yeah, Connor, I didn't think of this until you said that. Like, there's a nice juxtaposition of all the kind of frivolity of the party that they're having at the beginning of that movie, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're just trying to survive.
And I think it kind of does a good job at like being sort of like the American Godzilla, where like Godzilla was sort of about Japan's kind of nuclear fears post war. And that one is like set in New York. It's post 9/11, and there is kind of this anxiety of like another attack
Oh,
happening.
sure.
And then the
Yeah.
monster shows up and it kind of recreates that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always heard Abrams talk about. Leading into that movie was we wanted to make American Godzilla, and everybody always hears that and goes, well, "Yeah, it's King Kong." But I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Like in terms of like the actual movie and like what it's getting at, I do think it does a good job being very post 9/11 and striking at those fears.
Well, and it's a more lizardy creature than King Kong.
Yeah, that is true. If only that third movie didn't tank it, because 10 Cloverfield Lane is great.
Yeah.
We
Well,
could
and
have gotten more cool things.
And
with
there's
that.
supposed to be a more direct sequel in development, and I'm a little apprehensive about that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and they've been saying that for so long.
if
like,
it ever happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Overlord was supposed to be a Cloverfield movie.
Oh,
right?
that's
Like,
right.
Yeah. And
And
Overlord almost made my list. I love that movie.
I still haven't
that
seen
movie
it.
rocks.
I gotta do that.
I remember walking out going like, I feel like that movie would have been called Operation Cloverfield, and I know exactly the reshot thing would have been at the end where someone goes, "All right, that's a wrap on that case," and they close a Manila envelope, and the insert shot would say like Operation Cloverfield on it or something.
100%. 100%. A Quiet Place was also written as a Cloverfield movie. That's one.
Really?
Yeah, that's one where it's like the opposite. Like they wrote a Cloverfield movie and then we're told, no, take that out.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
See, I almost don't want them to do a flat out direct sequel ever, because I really like the. I mean, I know Cloverfield Paradox is supposed to be terrible, and I've never seen it, but I like the idea of like loosely related movies that keep kind of pointing to something from that first movie, but they all could kind of just be their own things and not be in a universe. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like it's anthology in the way that Halloween was supposed to be, except they're really loosely connected. So it's like we're all in a canon. Like it's almost like if you walked into Split knowing the Split ending, and you did that every time with a franchise. I really like that idea. I kind of wish they'd do that.
Yeah, and it really plays into that viral marketing that the first two had. I don't think Paradox really had at all because they dropped it
It was
that day.
Netflix.
Yeah, but like those two have like even more connections if you're following all that viral marketing stuff. Where like that could have also been like how you keep connecting these movies very loosely.
Good point.
But what can you do?
Well, we move on now to number 79.
79. I feel like I know for sure this one might. I don't know. I have a hunch this is going to be on Cap's list at some point.
Ooh, I can't wait.
But I love this movie. This is actually by a filmmaker who has been on my list already. So this is a repeat. And one of my favorites from Mr. Steven Spielberg. This is sort of him playing with a kind of movie that is more kind of seen as like a Scorsese thing, but he puts his own spin on it, and that is Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks.
It came close, but I haven't seen it in so long. I just couldn't speak to it real well. So no, I didn't include that. I ended up putting The Terminal on instead. That was kind
Okay.
of my. I want to do Catch Me if you can, but I'm gonna do Terminal instead. That's what I did.
Okay.
And I
okay.
made my list before I finally watched that.
Okay. I didn't know if you'd seen it or not.
Yeah, because you just saw it real
Um,
recently, right?
Yeah, I just saw it like within the last year. Yeah,
Did you like
the
it?
last couple months. I did really like it. Yeah, it was quite good.
it's really kind of like, I don't know, especially after not Spielberg's most recent movie, but the one he did before that. That's sort of like him telling his own origin story. It does sort of like, I don't know. I kind of knew that this before I saw that, but like so much of his parents' divorce influences his filmography, and it's really noticeable in this movie. And sort of like Arrested Development that kind of comes from that experience. Like if you come from like a broken like if you're a child of divorce, like in my experience, I definitely went through like a period of like Arrested Development and just like really throwing myself into like fiction and like hustle culture, not really the way we think of it now, but like just kind of like this idea. I don't know, like it's all very youthful and like trying to escape. It's about escapism and the way different people like do that. And in this case, this character literally like escapes his life to basically just commit a bunch of uh, tech fraud. But he's like kind of going around and participating in the sort of stuff that in the 60s were the big things. Like there's a part that's like a James Bond homage. There's like a whole kind of like Saul Bass influenced opening credits sequence. Like it's Art Deco. It's a little bit this. It's a little bit that. It's going through a lot of 60s kind of pastiche, but it is all about like a guy just trying to run away from the reality of like his parents' divorce. But then what's really interesting is just the ways in which his parents, he is both of his parents, but like his parents are very flawed people. Like you can look at his mom and think, oh, she's just kind of a gold digger, but she is also just an escape artist the way he is. Like she got out of the war by getting with his dad, and then after his dad goes broke, she finds other people to get with to try to get out of being poor. Like it's similar to what he does, but he kind of does it in the more slick, cool guy 60s way. Very entertaining too. I don't know. This is one where like this is kind of like a Scorsese type. It's Leo. But like that kind of Scorsese type guy just trying to like hustle and like get rich quick and get out of a situation, but while like kind of the ground is shrinking beneath his feet. um I really like those movies. But this particular situation really resonates with me in terms of Frank Abagnale Jr.'s like the way in which he is just so childish and trying to be a grown up, and his inability to just like he's throwing himself into being an adult without having matured. And the beginning is like a cool game show kind of homage, like kind of homage. It kind of frames the story, but we never go back to it. But the '60s game show is a whole thing that they were kind of putting in. Like I don't know. I'm not really talking super coherently about this, but I love this movie, and the scene where he basically just has all of like the stewardesses around him as he's like trying to get on the plane to get away from the FBI or like kind of, and it's like set to a Frank Sinatra song. Like every time I see that, I like clap alone in my living room by myself. Like it's just so good. I love this movie.
No, it's funny you mentioned that with the divorce angle because when I watched it, so I watched it at my mom's cottage. I watched it with her, my youngest brother, and my stepdad. And there was a point in the movie where Leo's like really trying to get his parents back together. This is near the end, and every one of my family is like this is so weird that like he's like obsessed with this, and I'm like, I like understand this character. Like I get his flaws, and I'm the only one who has split parents. So I'm like, there's clearly something you guys are missing in this. But I also did not get to see the opening titles because I have a TikTok brained younger brother who was like, "Yeah, I'm not watching these," and skipped it the second the opening title started.
No.
And I was like, "Oh, freaking TikTok brain!" And my mom and stepdad were like, we don't want to watch that either. Like, okay.
No.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a really good movie. I'm glad I finally saw it.
You could not catch it if you could.
Exactly.
And I guess I should probably say the only time Christopher Walken's been in a Steven Spielberg movie, the only time Leonardo DiCaprio, Amy Adams, Martin Sheen, the cast is crazy, and it's the only time any of those people have ever been in a Spielberg movie, and they all get to be in the same Spielberg movie, and it's awesome. So
And it's as closest to a superhero film with The Flash.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's a great again '60s comic books.
Yep.
Escapism, like it's a great, it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, and also like he's running from people, and it's the Flash, and so like.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Well, I was surprised by
and-
just how much the Flash thing kept coming back. Like I thought that would be like a quick nod. It's like right at the beginning, and it ends up being like a through line.
Yeah.
It's
Barry
great,
Allen
yeah.
becomes like his fake name.
Oh yeah.
Part of it.
Oh, that
Yeah, it's
scene where
great.
he's like, "Hey, I'm Barry Allen. I have internal affairs. Come on, we got this."
But yeah, Connor, to
That
your
was also a point where I laughed and everyone was dead silent in the room.
to your point about being interesting how many of those actors had never been in a Spielberg movie. He's one of those directors that goes back to certain actors, but it's not distracting. Like he's not like a Christopher Nolan where like 80% of his cast will be people that he's worked with before. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But when I think of Spielberg, I don't immediately associate very many particular actors.
No, I think, I mean, he's worked with Harrison Ford 4 times, but it's only for Indiana Jones. He's worked with Tom Hanks like 5 times, but I don't really think of Tom Hanks as like a Spielberg guy.
That's because he
think too
keeps
with that,
using
it's
him
so
in
recent.
movies where I have to be reminded that Steven Spielberg made them.
Yeah, he uses them in a variety of. He was also in The Terminal.
You know, because The
Yeah.
Terminal's not a conventional Spielberg movie, and that feels like a thing that somebody else could have directed. And like when you watch it, it's real clear that he's behind that camera. And a lot of why I like that movie as much as I do is because somebody so competent is making it. But like for a while, I had to keep being reminded that that's who made that. So I think that's part of why I don't think of Spielberg and Tom Hanks as like joined at the hip, and also because Tom Hanks has made a billion other movies. So it's not like he needs Spielberg to cast him or he won't be in things. Because you get that with certain actors, where it's like they're in a lot of movies, but it's always the same guy that keeps casting them, and nobody else seems to cast them. Like that happens. Or at least as much. I think Tom Cruise has done what, maybe 2 Spielberg movies?
He's done 2. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna feel really dumb when you say it, but what's the second one? I'm only thinking of War of the Worlds.
Minority Report.
Minority Report. No, no,
Oh
no.
yeah, see, no, I am dumb.
Oh, is that him? Okay, I was thinking a
Yeah.
different movie that must not be a Spielberg movie. Oops.
Which one are you thinking of?
Mission
Uh,
Impossible 3.
No, for a second I thought it was Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Which, don't laugh at me, that could have been a Spielberg movie really easily.
No, certainly, it's
can
definitely
see
like. I was laughing at Austin saying.
Oh, no,
Mission
no, I know,
Impossible
I know.
3 because J.J. Abrams made that movie.
Yeah. He's the new Spielberg. It makes sense.
I thought Shyamalan was the new Spielberg.
Well, he's the new Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
Shyamalan's the old new Spielberg.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
Nobody thinks of that anymore, but 20 years ago. Yeah, Connor, that
I
totally
want to see
should
Spielberg's Trap. That sounds great.
that totally should have been on my list. But I just felt like it's disingenuous because I don't know it well enough.
No, I get it. I made sure to watch it late last year because I wanted to make sure it was up there. But no, it's very entertaining. But man, when it kind of like hits the drama button, like I feel like seen in a way that I don't like being seen, and I'm like, oof, this is getting me.
But that's part of why you included it, probably, is because it's also so personal.
Absolutely. Yeah, it feels very authentic to that kind of way of being a stupid young person.
Yeah, which is a real resonating thing with you, and you write about quite a bit with your own stuff.
I do.
Austin, let's hear from you next.
Well, mine is a film that is very obscure. My next one is the original Planet of the Apes, which I don't own a copy of, sadly. I really need to get one. But yeah, I mean, it's basically the perfect sci-fi movie. It might be. I want to say it's my my favorite sci-fi movie, but I don't know what's. I mean, there's definitely sci-fi things after this, but I don't. It's not because of sci-fi things that are why it's here. It might be my
That makes
favorite,
sense.
just science fiction film for that. But yeah, I mean, it's basically.
No, so classic. It's just a
perfect.
Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a Twilight Zone episode. Dr. Zaius is one of the greatest villains of all time. Charlton Heston is wonderful. I love how much he hates humanity. It's very relatable. It's got one of the greatest endings of all time. Like it's completely perfect. And the Planet of the Apes movies are so weird to me in that everything about that original film is so cool, and we never really mind a lot of what's cool about that original film, because of course the second movie blew up the planet. Third movie, which I would say is probably my next favorite Planet of the Apes movie, that one's also really good. Goes back in time to modern day at the time, and then 4 and 5 are kind of building up to the Planet of the Apes again, but we never really just got to live in that ape world. And I love kind of how it's set up, where you have the three classes. We have the gorillas, who are more like the tough kind of army people. You have the orangutans, who kind of run everything, and then you have the chimps, who are like the common man kind of people, the working class. And like even when we rebooted, we never really got that. But I really love just visually, even how all that's set up. And like I love the structures where it's almost like Flintstone buildings that all the apes live in. It's such a cool looking world. It's crazy to me that this is a series that has like 18 movies, and we never really got back to that.
Well, that's why I always wanted the new series to finally get to their own Planet of the Apes reboot, or like remake, and that would maybe give us a chance to actually explore that culture more. Because since
Yeah,
then, it's
no,
all
for
been
sure.
prequel material, and like
Yeah.
for the most part, really good. But I've been kind of chomping at the bit to finally get to that society.
Yeah, and like I said, Escape would be my next favorite ape movie. Like they're very close together, and it's almost like an inversion of the original movie. And it's It's like Star Trek 4 if Star Trek 4 got as dark as Planet of the Apes. You go,
I
oh
still gotta
man,
watch that.
I was not prepared for how crazy
When
this
you
gets.
when you gave me that pitch, I was like, I've gotta know, and I still haven't done it. I've seen Beneath, but I've never seen that.
Yeah, and Beneath, I don't love that movie. It's not great, but there's good stuff in it,
Yeah.
and it's got a killer ending.
But Beneath is just too stretched thin. Like that could. I think the problem is Planet of the Apes, the original. I just had this thought. I don't know if I've ever articulated this, but that movie is in premise a Twilight Zone episode, but you couldn't have done it in 20 minutes. Beneath the Planet of the Apes is a 20-minute Twilight Zone episode.
Well, and part of that issue is they didn't have Heston for most of filming, so it's like, here's Heston. Oh, he's gonna leave for a little bit. Here's New Man. Remember Planet of the Apes? We're just gonna do the original movie for the next 40 minutes, and then Heston can come back and film. Okay, we're back into the movie.
I just remember it being people depressingly talking in a cave for 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's more so by the end. That's when we get Heston back.
That's all I remember about it. And then I remember that having the most depressing ending. And then I watched it with Jason when he was little, and he was like, that movie was awesome.
It's definitely a depressing ending, but it is kind of funny at the same time, just in how it's played. But yeah, it's that's fine. But 1 and 3 are, I think, kind of the big ones of the entire franchise, like including the reboot.
Oh, wild.
So I guess I got to tear a corner off of my cinephile card. I've actually never seen Planet of the Apes.
What?
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't know that
shocked.
either. That's shocking.
I will say though, I have you guys seen the trailer for the original Planet of the Apes?
I think so.
I think I have, but
It's-
like a long time
Yeah.
ago.
So I went to a theater in Hollywood that was like, it's a rep theater, so they were showing trailers for movies that they would be screening later in the month. And what happens with, I guess I realized this while I was seeing that trailer, is if film isn't preserved properly, it just kind of turns red. Like kind of it gets this red orange hue to it. And it was awesome because the trailer for Planet of the Apes, the trailer just makes it look like an exploitation movie. Like it's a woman in prison movie, except it's men in prison and apes are like firing hoses at them. And it's like all like red and kind of orangified. And it made it look like the gnarliest exploitation movie ever. And it had apes in it. I'm like, this looks awesome. I've got to finally watch this movie.
No, and you would love the original Planet of the Apes. That's part of why I'm so shocked.
Yeah, no, you totally would.
I know, I hear it's great.
Well, especially because Serling wrote it. Like you're
Yeah.
being the Twilight Zone fan you are. It's crazy that you not that I'm giving you crap. I'm just surprised to know that.
No. You should give me crap for it. I should have seen this movie by now.
Well, and I dragged my feet on it for the longest time. I think we talked about this when Austin and I reviewed it for Request because I think Bag asked for it, and I didn't see it until the day I went. Or like the day before I went to the theater to see the second of the new ones. Was it I
Dawn.
always forget the names. Yes, Dawn. The first one's Rise, second one's Dawn. They got that flipped. That's what it is. But anyway, that movie, the trailers for that looked so good. I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna watch the original Planet of the Apes and then watch the first one of these. So I actually watched, if memory serves, both of those the same day, which is pretty crazy. And then the next day I went and saw the new one. And that was an exciting couple days because I was shocked by how good Planet of the Apes was. And it was really just this dumb superficial thing of I've just never been the biggest fan of like primates in things. I just couldn't get excited about that. I was like, talking primates. I don't know. I don't like Gorilla Grodd that much. Like I'm good.
I think for the longest time I just had kind of the superficial thing of, well, I know the ending, so
Yeah. There's also that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother watched it and he was like, no, it's like a really good movie. Like you gotta see it.
Yeah, it was so good that the ending was is super effective, even though I knew what it was, and I momentarily kind of forgot about it, wasn't even thinking about it. So like I was still able to at least sort of have the impact of that. It was like as soon as we got to it, I was like, oh yes, this. But like I was so engrossed in the movie that I got to be a little blindsided by it.
That's cool.
Because it's not like Fight Club where like most people have heard of that ending even if they haven't seen that movie, but it's still relatively, or it's still theoretically possible to see that for somebody to see that movie without having heard of that ending. I don't think it's literally at all possible to go into the Planet of the Apes and not know what that ending is.
Right, yeah.
Same with if you watch the Planet of the Apes remake, you will walk out of the film not understanding what the ending was.
That is true. They don't even know why they did that. It just had to be something else.
No, the other day I learned it was originally supposed to be the Statue of Liberty, but as an ape, and then they changed it to the Lincoln Memorial. Just do the Statue of Liberty. The Lincoln statue is stupid.
I mean, it would have been kind of dumb anyway. It's like,
no, it would have been dumb
what
anyways,
even is the
but
reveal? Like, but it's an ape? Like,
yeah,
okay.
It's definitely dumb either way.
And like, you're still gonna present it like it's somehow cautionary? But like, what are we being cautioned against? I don't know.
Don't be Marky Mark in an ape world.
Don't let your apes take over and pretend to be your presidents. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for my 79?
Yep.
Oh, we're just blowing through these today, folks. We're at 51 minutes. We've done 2 films, and I'm not even done with... I haven't even started my second one. Okay, so mine is another kind of classic science fiction idea anyway. It's more recent than Planet of the Apes, of course, and it's not actually like a 60s classic science fiction story, but it's written by a writer that did a lot of stuff in that era, so it might as well be. And this one, Austin, actually is, honest to God, very little known. And so I'm not even making a joke when I say this one is obscure. This will be one that both of you guys have likely never heard of. My 79 is The Man from Earth, written by Jerome Bixby, who did 4 original series episodes, including my favorite original Star Trek episode, Mirror Mirror. And it's a low-budget, kind of one-room drama from the late 90s. I think it came out in 98. I'm looking for the... No, I'm sorry. It was written in 98. It came out in 07. I was conflating that. I knew it came out later, but I was thinking about the writer. And so Jerome Bixby wrote this, finished writing it on his deathbed, which is crazy. So it was like the absolute last thing he did, and then it got made like a decade later. And the premise of it is a man invites all of his friends over and reveals to them that he is immortal and has been living and walking around the earth for like 2,000 years. And so like there's no action in it. There's no effects or anything. It's basically a stage play, and it's like all of the science fiction stuff in it is in the discussion, and it's just a really fascinating discussion. It's very philosophical and sociological, and it's a lot about like mortality and perception of history, and history being written by the victors. I'll just spoil one of the big reveals in it, because this might get some folks to go out and find it. It might be a difficult thing to stream or to buy at this point. I'm not sure how gettable this is, and I don't have a copy of it, so hopefully there's a way to get this. I forget how I even watched it. I've seen it several times, so it must have been streaming somewhere at some point. But anyway, the big revelation, or one of the big revelations, is that this guy in this reality is actually the basis for the biblical Jesus, and that there was no Jesus, and it completely wrecks a couple of people's uh, like belief system and the way they see the world, and it's a real kind of emotional roller coaster when you get that. And some of the religious stuff is a little heavy-handed. Like, it's obviously written by a real hardcore atheist, and whether you're a person of faith or not, I think there's a lot of truth still to be mined in it. In that we all have things that we think we're absolutely sure about, that you actually just cannot be absolutely sure about. And if only there was video evidence of things from decades and centuries ago, you could be sure of the things that you believe, but you really just have the written history and journals and things to go on, and you just hope that you're right about it. And so anyway, it's a real fascinating to watch. Like I said, it's real kind of classic 60s science fiction. And I've lost track of him now, but I was friends at one time with one of Jerome Bixby's sons, who lived in Lawrence at the same time as I was doing Lawrence, Kansas, at the same time as I was doing Star Trek Club, and he came out for a few of our Star Trek Club meetings and did a presentation on his dad, and showed us some artifacts and things from his career, and that was a real special thing for us. Back in the day, we got to watch Mirror Mirror with him, and he told us some behind the scenes stuff, and it was really cool. But anyway, that was a movie that I hadn't thought about in a while when I was putting this list together, and it just kind of came to me, and I was like, oh yes, that's got to be there, and I should get myself a copy of it at some point. But yeah, made on a shoestring budget of $200,000, because it's all just in one room, and so like you're not really watching that for the cinematography or nothing, but like it looks fine. And it's got both John Billingsley from Star Trek Enterprise and Tony Todd, and they're both great.
Yeah, I have seen that poster.
Oh, okay.
Probably in a thumbnail for a Geek Evolution video.
Oh, maybe so.
I've just been like looking at it as I've been listening, of course, to you talk, but I've been looking it up because like this sounds really cool. Like this is like right up my alley in terms of like people just putting stuff together. Somebody has a vision. It takes decades for them to finally write it, and then even after they die, it's like people are trying to get it made. Like I guess what had happened was it was unauthorized. BitTorrent had helped raise its profile, and I guess the producers thanked the people who pirated it and then said, "Oh, please buy a DVD." So, that's really cool.
And it had a direct sequel in the mid 2010s that I've never seen, called Holocene, and I don't know anything about that. And I think that the actor came back, who plays the lead in that, but I don't know anything about it.
Cool. I will absolutely add that to the list.
Yeah, do it. Hopefully you
That's
get your hands
really
on
cool.
it. And I think it's short. I think it's like an hour and a half. Connor hasn't made a hey, watch this movie, it's short statement tonight yet, so I figure I better do it with mine.
No, the two that I've already gone through are both over 2 hours. So on this next one, this one's 93 minutes, so it's
okay. We're really trucking here. Let's get to our
I'll get through this one
78.
faster. Number 78. So just a minute ago, Cap was like, got those directors that are always casting the same people. Well, this next guy basically only ever worked with the same 10 actors over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And to be honest, I really liked it because it kind of feels like his troupe of actors. In one movie, this actor and that actress are playing husband and wife. The next movie, they're playing father and daughter. But it's like this is uh, this guy comes from the stage, and so there is kind of this theatrical kind of quality to it. It actually is kind of ties into what you're talking about, Cap, where this is two people. Most of it is just two people in a room talking to each other. This is a Swedish film from the filmmaker Ingmar Bergman, and I don't even think this is anything like my favorite Ingmar Bergman movie, but I think about it a lot. And a lot of those other Ingmar Bergman films, I've seen once. I've seen almost every Ingmar Bergman movie. The problem is he made like 45 or 47 movies and TV miniseries and documentaries and, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen almost all of them. In order to see almost all of them, I can only really watch them at least once, right? So this is one, though, that this one really sticks with me, and I think I can easily pitch this to people. It is called Autumn Sonata. Um, this is the final film performance of Ingrid Bergman, no relation. Um, but Ingrid Bergman was in Casablanca, so it's pretty good. And then she plays a mother, and she has a daughter played by Bergman regular Liv Ullmann. Now, this is the only film that Ingrid Bergman ever did with Ingmar Bergman, but this is like one of 10 collaborations between Bergman and Ullmann. Um, I guess I don't want to like sugarcoat this or bury the lead. I think Liv Ullmann's performance in this movie might be the single best performance I've ever seen in a movie. I think its only competition would be Liv Ullmann's performance in Scenes from a Marriage. But Scenes from a Marriage is a television miniseries, so not really the same thing. And if you watch the TV edit of Scenes from a Marriage, it does kind of cut out some of the best stuff from like the third or fourth episode. Um, but basically, what this is if you have, I think a lot of people do, if you have a little bit of a testy relationship with one of your parents, this one's gonna be something. So basically the situation is this. Ingrid Bergman plays a world-renowned concert pianist who has a daughter, and this daughter is Liv Ullmann. And Liv Ullmann hears that her mother's friend has died and invites her to stay with her and her husband, who is like some kind of minister or bishop, and they live in like a parish. And he's like, hey, come on over and live with us, and hopefully you can stay forever, basically, because you're old. And then she comes over and visits, and pretty quickly you start to see that there's a disalignment where Liv Ullmann is so meek and so insecure, and her mother is so confident and so domineering. And eventually, it feels like after 20 or 30 minutes of you going, okay, what's really going on? It's really like half the movie. Um, but what happens is one night, Liv Ullmann asks her mom, Mom, do you like me? And the mom says, what are you talking about? I love you. And then they start having a conversation that is an all night, like it feels like in real time, one of the most gut wrenching conversations. And basically, what it is the world heavyweight championship in acting competition, or like championship like it is Liv Ullmann going, here's a monologue, and then Ingrid Bergman going, okay, are you done? Now here's the monologue, and you're like, what? And like the performances are towering and amazing, and the theatricality of it is like the Bergman can be kind of like a nutty kind of formalist when he wants to be, but here he just really tones it back and lets the acting take over. And I mean, this movie makes me cry. Like, I don't have a contentious relationship with my mom. I love my dad. But there are some things about a child's relationship with their parents where some things are just never, ever going to really harmonize. And this will bring that out of you. And geez, I don't want to give away too much about it, but like for like 45 minutes of this, it is like kind of grueling and agonizing, but in the best way. Yeah, I don't know. I would highly recommend this. just about anybody. If you're looking to get into international art house cinema, like this is, I think, a pretty good entry point. It's only 93 minutes. It has a Hollywood like starlet in her final film performance. It has, one of the best all-time actresses ever. This movie's great. Everyone should watch it. And I could have put like Through a Glass Darkly or The Magician or The Seventh Seal or Persona or like any host of other like Bergman movies here, but I've seen those once. So yeah. Anyways, Autumn Sonata.
If we did this 5 years from now, it'd be such a different list. Just based on like what you actually watched, like with the don't put something you haven't seen more than once rule. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, Cries and Whispers. If anyone out there has seen Cries and Whispers, this is in the Cries and Whispers Bergman camp. I'm so sorry, Kat.
No, you're good. Have you guys? Because I know I'm older than you guys. When you were kids, did you ever actually sit down and watch any Reading Rainbow?
I did, yeah.
No.
Because while
I know of Reading Rainbow through other things.
Because while Connor was sitting the whole time very eloquently discussing his movie and holding it here, all I could think of is like the kids doing their book reports in that show, and then they always end with dun dun dun, and I really wanted after Connor was finished I wish I could rig that up. Dun dun dun.
And I will say, tying into Reading Rainbow, it's Swedish, so you're going to do a lot of reading.
But you don't have to take Connor's word for it.
I guess the last thing I'll say about it is it does have one of the best lines of dialogue I've ever read in a movie. I guess I've also heard it. But
Sorry.
Ingrid Bergman just like listens to Liv Ullmann tell her about how awkward and painful it was to grow up with like a famous concert pianist mom who was never around. And her response to that is, I think some people have a better talent at living than other people. And I can't believe, how as a writer do you find that in your character to say? Like, damn. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
That's powerful. No, that's great. Dun dun dun. Let me read.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let me read these couple of super chats from Tobin Belpone's $5 super chat. He says, "Hey guys, my projection of the Odyssey in IMAX 70mm literally broke, so here I am with you bozos."
Yay!
And then he leaves another $10 super chat and says, "Joking. While yes, the projector did break in San Antonio, and my screening tomorrow was canceled. Oh, jeez. I'm happy to be here with you bozos. You don't suck." I've never been called bozo twice in one super chat or in one stream, much less in two super chats chronologically. Unlike our IMAX 70mm projector, he's very angry with that projector. It sucks.
That projector does suck. Yeah,
It really sucks, man. I'm sorry.
He's very on brand tonight, Austin.
Yeah, no, he's telling us what sucks and what doesn't. We are hip.
Yeah.
So that's
and
good.
He's always right about what sucks and what doesn't. Like, we worship the altar of Tobin Belpones and his and his opinions of what sucks and what doesn't suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Austin, what is your next one, sir?
Yes.
Is it a one-room drama? Is it very conversational and can take place on stage?
No, but to be fair, this isn't as rough as Connor with his Oscar-nominated film and then me with Samurai Cop. It's not that far of a drop. But that being said,
like, mine was really cerebral. His was really like emotional and stage playish.
Yeah, exactly. And mine, people done get hit by cars. It's Christine.
Yeah. No, that movie rocks. I'm glad I finally saw it.
Yeah, and this is one of the last Carpenter films I saw, and I watched it right after reading the book, and I was like, this book's quite good. Watched the film and went, it was fine. It's like a kind of lesser Carpenter film. But I go back to this movie maybe more than like anything else in his filmography. I've seen this movie a lot. It's like a really easy comfort food for me, and is like really grown on my list of just his filmography. And uh, the things I thought were kind of weak when I first watched it, I've grown to realize I think are actually Carpenter doing what you should always do with a Stephen King adaptation, which is cut the cocaine out of it and streamline it down. So I think
That's
ultimately
the
it ended
first
up being
rule of writing any Stephen King adaptation.
100%. Like you read the book and it's like the car is like possessed by its original owner, but also is like a mean, evil car that's maybe like built into the machine itself, but like when it becomes evil, that original owner becomes a ghost and is driving around in it, and it's like, no, evil car.
That's
Evil
so
car kills
convoluted.
people.
It's just you can see we don't need an explanation. That was one of the things I most liked about that movie. Is that like
Yeah.
you could guess it what exactly it is, but we don't need to be told it.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. It's an evil car. That's what matters. And the effects for Christine is like they're so amazing. Like just that car that's on fire, like driving down the road, or just like the car when it's like rebuilding
When
itself.
it rebuilds itself. That's the
It's-
best.
It's amazing. Like the other characters in this movie are fine. Christine is like an all-time great film character. She's
Well,
wonderful.
I think those characters are better than fine. Like I was actually really
Yeah.
impressed with the sort of like horror and like it's like a metaphor for drugs or like kind of like falling in with the
Yeah.
wrong crowd. Like there is a sort of like thing about it, and I
Yeah.
like how the protagonist switches to kind of the jock character who is the friend who does want what's best for his buddy, and
Mhm.
I was really impressed by that guy. Like it was. I was
Yeah,
really
sorry,
impressed
I'm
by
maybe like
that.
underselling them. They're not like I didn't mean that in a negative way, but like I just meant like Christine's like way up
But
here.
yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
The
the other
star
characters
is
are good. Yeah.
Christine. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, and that's something that like I've really come to appreciate more on a rewatch, where it's like the first time I was like, okay, this is just kind of the bare bones of these characters in the book, but sometimes you can just get kind of lost on that when you're like immediately jumping in from different versions, where like I wasn't fully giving it credit on its own, and then have like come to do that more so now. And yeah, like I think all that stuff is a lot better than I ever gave it credit for as well. And the music in that movie kicks ass.
It's awesome. That is one of Rasco's favorite movies, and he made me watch that several years back.
Oh hell
Um,
yeah.
He also got into an argument with somebody for the better part of an hour about like the guy running away from the car. Somebody said, "Why didn't he just jump out of the way?" And Rasco was like, "No, that would be a stupid thing to do. Like, why would he think that would be a good idea?"
Yeah, no, and that stuff is way cooler than it is in the book. Like Christine in the book kind of just rams things where it's like one of the attacks is just a person in their house and just kind of like rams into the house repeatedly until it breaks through and hits them. And it's like that works in a book, obviously. Like I'm not trashing on it, but like cinematically they really amp that up.
Nice.
Well, I think the main thing that makes that book special is that it sounds like, if you didn't know it was a Stephen King book, it sounds like a concept for a really crappy B movie on like a real small budget. It's like, well, we have a car and we'll just use that, and then we'll just have it run into things and then say, oh, look, it's possessed. Ooh, it's so spooky. There is an elegance to the way that movie is made that is almost inappropriate for the subject. And like that's what
Sure, yeah.
that's what really elevates it. Is like you're gonna
Right.
take this trashy sounding premise. It's a possessed car or an evil car, whatever it is, that runs people over, and you're gonna shoot it with an elegance of like a Halloween or something. Like
Yeah, no,
that's kind of
exactly.
amazing that it got that treatment. And like the colors and the lighting in that movie.
Yeah. No, and the original premise of Christine is just What if a car had a speedometer that went backwards and it got younger as it went? That was King's like original premise, and started writing it and like wrote this book.
You're right. Take the cocaine out. The
exactly.
The
only
cocaine giveth, the cocaine taketh away.
the only way you come up with that
Exactly.
premise is if you're on something. I mean, that's insane.
No, and that book's weird in that, because like a lot of King books, it's broken into 3 acts, where like he specifically labels like this is the next act, and Act 1 and 3 are in first person, but Act 2 is in third person. It's really strange.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Is the speaker the
I'm not
same
on
in the first
cocaine.
in the first and third acts? Is the speaker the same?
Yes,
Okay.
so that's at least consistent.
Is the third person limited or omniscient?
More omniscient from what I remember, and also the character that's
So it's
first
jumping
person
heads?
in Act. Yes, and the character that's
Okay.
in the first and third acts does pop up in a couple scenes in the second act. It's very strange.
I'm gonna have to read that at some point. That's really weird.
It works
It
while you're
sounds-
reading it. I was never like, this book sucks.
Well, I
It's
have that with
very
King.
weird.
Like he breaks a lot of my POV rules, and it always works when he does it. And then when I see other writers attempt it, most of the time I'm like, nah, don't do that. But like he'll jump heads in The Shining in a scene, and I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. But somehow I'm not minding it when you do it. I can't even explain why.
Like Connor said.
It's the exception that proves the rule, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, are we to my 78?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a movie that I haven't seen a ton, so like it barely scrapes by the I've only seen it once rule. So I'm not gonna have a lot to say about this, but like it's good enough to be on this list and a thing I'd like to see more. This is now one of my son Jason's favorite movies, and so I watched it again with him maybe I don't know a year ago, and it's a Hitchcock movie. But not my favorite Hitchcock movie, so that's why it's as low as it is. This is, and I won't tell you how many Hitchcock movies are on this list, but it's more than
9.
1. It's more than one. It's not 9. It's somewhere between 2 and 9. Anyway, this movie came out in 1951, and it's Strangers on a Train. Have you guys both seen Strangers on a Train?
I've not, no.
Wow! Wait, neither of you guys have?
No.
Oh, okay.
I knew it would be on your
Crazy.
list, but I've never seen it.
Have I talked to you about this movie?
Yes.
So the premise of Strangers on a Train is very simple, and it's like the most Hitchcocky thing you could possibly think of. Besides Psycho, which is there are 2 men that meet each other on a on said train, and they're in a train car together, and one of them pitches this hypothetical situation in which 2 men that both really want someone dead trade murders so that no one will know who did the murder because because the murderers would not seem to have any motive and are from a completely different place in the country. And the more they talk about it, the more this guy makes it clear, at least to the audience, that it's not theoretical for him, and he's trying to pigeonhole this guy into a situation where he is kind of agreed to it, even though he never really agrees to it. And this guy's like a master manipulator. And so he manages to get enough information from the first guy that he figures out like who he would want killed, which is his current wife, who he's wanting to divorce because he wants to marry a different woman, but is finding it difficult to leave his wife. And if only she was dead, then he could go after this girl that he really wants to go after. And so the guy that pitched the murder actually goes and kills his wife. and then expects the favor to be returned, and a lot of their screen time is over spooky phone calls, which are really well handled, and then and he has like a father that he hates that he wants dead, and so part of his master manipulation and just the kind of the evilness of this character seems to come from his upbringing. So you in some ways have the father that he wants dead to blame for the fact that he is this way, which I really like, and it's just a really cool kind of thriller premise. And obviously it's Hitchcock, so it's wonderfully well shot. And then it has one of the most insane third acts from this period I've ever seen, because it looks horrendously dangerous and you'd never be allowed to film it, like even 10 years after it. It's absolutely nuts. It's this whole thing with a merry-go-round, or like a carousel at a like a fair that goes haywire, and somebody like goes up underneath it while it's spinning super fast and out of control, and it clearly, like, is someone actually going under it. You're just cringing, like, it's super visceral because it's the most dangerous looking thing you could think of. It's like, you should not be filming this. It's absolutely wild, and I can't remember if they speed up the footage at all. I seem to recall it being sped up a little bit, but it's super weird. I mean, it's super messed up. It's weird that they were even allowed to shoot it, but it's actually a really good action climax in a movie that doesn't have a lot of action in it. But it's one of my favorite thrillers from that period.
That's that sounds awesome. Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
you're right. Like, I remember my brother, when he was living in Los Angeles, he lived very close to a rep theater that was just doing a whole summer of Hitchcock programming. And he was like, great, this is how I'm going to knock some stuff off my Hitchcock list. And when he saw Strangers on the Train, he loved it. But he called me and he was like, Connor, this has the most Hitchcock premise ever.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me what it was. And then you said that. And then you were like explaining the premise. I'm like, oh my God, he's hitting all the beats. That was awesome.
No, I had The Simpsons did this on Treehouse of Horror, and I knew it was a Hitchcock homage because, like, obviously, and they really play into it. I did not realize that's what it was a parody of. And so, as you were describing it, I'm like, oh my God, it's the Treehouse of Horror segment.
Well, and unlike the thing we were talking about earlier with Twilight Zone, with Beneath the Planet of the Apes, this is like a Hitchcock Presents episode. Like, I could see this premise going either way. Like, this could have been a 20-minute episode of something, but you can also see how you can get enough meat out of that story to have a whole movie. So it really works either direction. Whereas something like the original Planet of the Apes, you can't do that in 20 minutes. Like, there's too much going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, that's a show I've seen no episodes of. I need to actually.
I've seen like 2 or 3, and it's great.
I've danced
what I've
around
seen.
buying that show on DVD like 8 times. I've never
Yeah.
bought the bullet.
You
bit
should-
the bullet.
You should do it.
Yeah, I need to. I need to just see more Hitchcock in general. I am very underserved on that. I've seen like 2.
I've maybe, yeah, like, I don't mean to talk like a huge Hitchcock fan or expert. There's the like 6 or 7 that I've seen, but probably not more than that. And I like all of them, except I was a little disappointed with Rope.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you've ever seen
Interesting.
Rope.
I did, yeah. I liked that one. The one I was kind of.
But I haven't seen it in a really long time, so I might like it more now. I mean, I probably watched that in my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, when I saw Rope, I was kind of worried it wouldn't live up to the hype because I thought the concept was so cool. It was tonally different than I was expecting, but I did really like it. The Hitchcock movie I've always been disappointed by is North by Northwest.
I've never
That's
seen
the
that.
one I just can't quite get on the wavelength. But I remember being in high school. To your point, Cap, is because I kind of agree with you, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Where I remember in high school, I would say, yeah, Hitchcock is like one of my like top 5, top 3 favorite filmmakers. And then it wasn't until I was in like my mid-20s, and I'm like, I think I've seen 5 Hitchcock movies.
And he's made like 800.
But
Yeah,
they
exactly.
really stick with you is the thing.
They do. They
Yeah.
really do. All right. What are we at? 80 or 70?
77.
77.
77. All right. So this next movie is
We
a
got 2
movie
more for the
everybody
evening. We can do it.
Everyone has seen this. Everyone likes this movie. Probably the most recent movie that's going to be on this leg of the list, and that is John Wick from 2014.
Yeah, look at that. Is that a
Um,
steelbook?
Yeah, it's Steelbook.
That's very pretty.
Yeah. It's a little...
Sorry, I gotta ask you this real quick. Have you seen the releases where all the covers are dogs?
I have, yeah.
That's great.
Look, Lionsgate knows they have a good thing, and Lionsgate had a really bad 2024, so they are just like cranking out their catalog. And so there's like 8
Well, not only
different
that, but there's like
collections.
100 different releases of John Wick. You can buy that in
And
so
that's-
many
yes,
different ways.
yeah.
I just got a box set
Um,
recently of the 4 because I
still have to get
I
4.
think I owned 2 of them. Well, I think I owned all 4, but I couldn't find 2 of them, so it was like whatever. I bought the box set that had the 4 plus Ballerina, which I still haven't seen because I heard bad things about it. But I went ahead and bought that. Yeah.
Ballerina. Like, honestly, the one time I can think, wow, the reshoots really saved this movie. It's very obvious what sequences are reshoots, and they're the most creative, like, action scenes in the
Oh
movie. In my
no.
opinion.
Sorry, I'll let you talk about John Wick.
Okay, look, I'll be brief. I'll say 2 things. One, I think this is one of the most exemplary, more modern examples of world building. I think this is like kind of in the master class of cinematic world building. I think that it's like the original Star Wars, where it kind of achieves this thing in, I guess, the edit and just the way it's constructed, where it feels intuitive. I remember watching this for the first time, and like he like busts the cement with the sledgehammer, and he pulls out that briefcase, and in it there are like these gold coins, and you're like, what are these gold coins? And then a little bit later he rolls up to the Continental, and I'm like, gold coins go here. And then he puts the gold coin on. I'm like really clicking in with just like it feels like it's intuitively like putting itself together, even if you don't know it yet. It's really cool in that way, and that's something that a lot of movies kind of strive for, but very few movies actually hit that target. I guess that's a pun because I'm talking about John Wick. But the other thing I did want to mention is just I'll tell a quick story about the first time I saw this movie. I remember watching this in October of 2014. I was working at a pumpkin patch that month. It was between jobs. I was like 19, and my twin brother and I went to go see this movie called John Wick that was getting some good reviews. We were the only 2 people in that theater. And I remember halfway through this movie, when you have like the red circle nightclub action sequence, we turned to each other and we said like, this is like amazing, right? And we're like, yeah. And we walked out on a high. We were like buzzing off that movie. It is one of, I guess, tying into what I was talking about with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in our last stream in this series, which is like, this is like a great comic book movie that isn't based on a comic book, but it kind of channels the appeal of what it's like to read a comic book.
It's the best Punisher film series, like by far.
And I remember in late 2014, there was 2 movies that, like, if you had a friend group, somebody was evangelizing for, and I was evangelizing for both of them, so I'll get to that other one later. But one of them was John Wick. And I remember when the second one came out, I went to the theater. We took some friends, my brother and I took some friends with us, and that theater opening night was sold out. That was the word of mouth appeal of John Wick, and I was really happy to kind of be in there on the ground floor. So that's my story with John Wick.
That's super cool. That's my theater experience for that is really weird looking back on it, because retroactively, I don't at all feel the way I used to about that movie, just because it's become such a good franchise. And like, you're right, the world building in the first one is really good, and then when we peel the curtain back and we make it even more comic booky after that, where it's like the whole world seems to be assassins, it's one of it. And just the rules of like the high table, and like the like women that run the phone lines, just like all the different aspects of that universe that you don't even get in the first movie yet. I'm really glad it kept going. But boy, it bugged me all the way up until the sequel that he doesn't die at the end of that movie. It just felt like the natural ending. I'm like, how do we let this character survive? It's almost like he's got to be around just so we can have more movies. And then once we get those movies, it completely justified it. But I spent 2 years going, I don't know about the ending of this movie. Now there's 4, and and 4 might be my favorite, so it's weird.
Yeah, him falling down the steps.
You've never
I
seen
think
anything
about
like that.
I think about it a lot, actually.
Me too.
It is.
I think 2 might be my favorite. I really like 2.
Yeah.
I also love 2. Yeah.
But there's such a quality of those movies that you can make a case for any of them.
Mhm.
Although I always forget
Yeah,
what even happens in 3, so...
Yeah, for me, the second
I
half
don't really
of
like
3,
3 that much.
the second half of 3 and the first half of 4 kind of fall into this kind of saggy place, but I like pretty much everything else. But
Well,
I need
'cause
to rewatch 3 and 4.
4 is 3 in reverse, and the beginning of 4 is the end of 3, so it makes sense that those are the 2 parts that sag.
I'll never forget the reaction that Jason had in the theater with him falling down the steps. He was audibly like, wait, he's still falling down these steps.
Yeah, it's funny with that because like every John Wick knockoff does the stair scene, but it's all like the twisting stairs. And John Wick 4 was like, okay, all of you knockoffs have done the stair scene. We're gonna do the stair scene now, but we're gonna do one really long set of stairs, and we're just gonna throw them down it.
And it's gonna go
They
for
all do the shot where it's like they jump from like the one platform to the next platform on the stairs. So like, no, we're just gonna kick them fully down them.
well, part of the reason it works so much is because is just like the kind of clear thematic thing it's doing, where like he's rising, descend. And like he's got this deadline. Is he gonna be able to meet it? He's like seconds away from he's supposed to be there, and then he goes all the way down him. And like somehow you're not expecting that to happen, but we've clearly been working up to that. Like it's so good.
And then Donnie Yen in it, like, gives him a hand up, and they just start walking back up the
Yeah.
steps. It's so sweet. So good.
Anyway, I keep talking about
Anyway.
John Wick 4. Austin, what is your next one, sir?
My next one I'll be pretty brief on, just because it's a movie that people should see, and it's not super well known, but it is like a cult classic. It's my other Sam Neill film. It's Possession, which somebody asked on our first stream, will I have Possession on? I did have Possession on. Yeah,
I just love that you
it's
picked the movie called Possession right after Christine. I just got to throw that out there.
that is true, but this movie did not have a ghost possessing a car, or something. No,
You don't know. You don't know what exactly that car is.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on. Uh, no, this is like one of the most like oppressively just depressing movies I've ever seen. Uh, it's all about like just a breakup or like divorce, like those kind of emotions, and it really makes you sit in them. And I can't think of the main actress's name, but the main actress in that, and Sam Neill in it, who's super young.
How old is
are
it?
both. It is. Let me see. 1981. So yeah, but yeah, it's the two of them and their relationships falling apart, and it's just incredibly hard to watch. But they both give stellar performances. Everyone talks about like the big scene where the main actress in that freaks out and is getting possessed, and it's amazing and so just bizarre and weird and uncomfortable to sit through. And it takes one of the craziest like third act twists I've ever seen, where I'm like, oh, like what? Like what is even happening? But like I'm with it. This is crazy. Uh it's fantastic. Like I said, I won't give that away because if you don't know what it is, you really should have that experience. But it's fantastic. Just know that you're gonna need like an entire bucket of ice cream for when you're done, just to cheer yourself up a little bit.
Is it a movie you've been able to go back to very much, or is it like so oppressive?
No, like I don't have an issue going back to it. I don't go back to it a ton for that reason, but like, and not only that, but it's also just a movie I think about quite a bit. Where like I don't know, like I'll be driving or something and be like, oh man, like this scene.
Um, Earlier, some of the people were talking about how like Showgirls has kind of been reappraised by like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, like
Yeah,
film people. I think Possession has really been discovered by that same generation,
you're
because I
probably right.
hear
Yeah.
younger people really talk about it in a way that I never really heard about when I was in college.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think they just announced like a couple months ago it's being remade, which I don't know how I feel about that, but like maybe it'll be good. It's one of those movies where I'm like it might be small enough that if you're going to remake it, you're probably going to remake it right because you actually want to make it.
mhm.
So, who knows?
Yeah, Isabel Adjani, is that who is like the main lady in that?
Here I can check. I have it on here.
That's
Yes. I couldn't think of the
that,
actress's name, but yeah.
she's from like I know Werner Herzog's Nosferatu movie. That's like the only other thing that I can think
Oh
of.
my god, she is in that. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Um,
who that is.
but but no, like all I know about that movie is it is the Isabella Johnny show, and
Yes.
also Sam Neill is in it. So earlier when you were like, I think I have another Sam Neill movie on this, and I'm like, I think it might be Possession.
Nailed it.
Yeah, he's
I
really
have
good
not
in
seen
it.
Possession.
It's not his best performance, but he's really good in it.
Mhm.
But it is much more her movie, absolutely.
I think I saw like in 2024 there was like 3 movies that paid homage to the freakout scene. Like the
Yeah,
first Omen has a scene that is kind of that, and then like
yeah.
didn't Immaculate also have a scene like it was like a
I think
few.
so. But those are like the same movie.
I know they are the same. That's
Probably.
crazy.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that.
You know the funniest Sam Neill performance is? You ever seen Daybreakers?
I have.
I don't know. When
He
I went
wears
back to
two
Dominion,
neckties.
when I went to back to Dominion, we did a watch party on Discord a while back of the 3 Jurassic World films. This was before Rebirth, so that didn't exist yet. But uh, one of the funniest experiences I've had in a watch party in like a long time. Uh, there's a scene where Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern are like having important exposition, get it out to the crowd, and it's boring. Who cares? But in the background, Sam Neill is arguing with a coffee barista and is like completely upstaging that entire trilogy, not just the actors in that scene. It is hysterically funny, and he's like walking around that entire scene like he doesn't know like where he is, what's going on, and it's really amusing. And it's all just in the background.
Yeah,
It's like Zod looking at
Daybreakers.
pie.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
That Daybreakers performance is odd because it's like there's something just uncanny about like it's Sam Neill in a suit, He's a vampire.
He's a vampire. And he runs like a,
Interesting.
or he's high up in like a secret society of vampires. Or not even a secret society, just like a evil society that runs everyone. It's kind of a cool idea. It was not executed well. Like that movie does not work.
No, I remember the thing I remember about Daybreakers is that Willem Dafoe is in it. Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe is in the first John Wick. I always forget.
Yeah,
but
he sure is.
He is, yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
He's got a great
is
death
in
scene.
Daybreakers. Yes, he does. But in Daybreakers, he plays a character. Can't remember if he's a vampire or not, but he plays a character named Elvis. And when you first meet him,
I don't even remember that.
He's like looking down like this, and he's like not really. He's like they're kind of hiding him to be like, guys, it's Elvis. And he's like, "Are you?" Ethan Hawke's like, "Are you Elvis?" He's like, "Lord Almighty, I can feel my temperature rising." He starts like singing "Burning Love," and I'm like, "What?"
That was a
Cap
big
used to
swing.
talk about when Cap used to talk about Flatliners, Daybreakers was the movie I thought he was talking about for like the longest time. So when I finally got like this is the premise of Flatliners, I was like, it sounded like a vampire movie. What? I'm so confused.
Which is really funny because it's Kiefer Sutherland who played a vampire in his previous movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, that was the period where he got typecast as vampires.
In Joel Schumacher movies.
In Joel Schumacher movies
exactly.
specifically. No, Joel Schumacher did not make two vampire movies right next to each other that had the exact same cinematography and lighting setup. That did not happen. Okay, are we on to my next one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this one briefly, because I'm almost breaking the only seen once rule. I probably have only seen this twice. This is another kind of request movie that I had not bothered to look at until somebody asked for it. I think it might have been request before request. I think it was like maybe just before we went to that branding and just before I had Austin on those. So I think I might have flown solo when I talked about this. Or it might have been when I was doing these with Eric. I cannot remember. But what number are we on? 77 is The Social Network.
Oh.
From 2010. I really like Aaron Sorkin screenplays. I need to see more Sorkin movies. But that's that kind of like quick talking. It's obviously scripted, but people are trying to be as natural as possible. But that kind of like, heightens the whole reality. That's always really appealed to me. Like I've always wanted to try to write something like that, and it's one of those biopics that and I know I say this a lot with biopics I like, but it's a lot of what makes them make my list. That it kind of transcends the reality, and I don't really care that much about like what really happened and how close it is to reality. That is it's just a really good character study, and it would be great whether it was a full-on fiction or based on real things that actually happen. And everybody knows what the Social Network is, so I don't think I have to give too much of a synopsis with that. But obviously Eisenberg's performance is really impressive in it. I think what struck me the most about that, just going on memory from when I first saw it, was the kind of juxtaposition of it's this antisocial man who doesn't understand how people fit together, who is kind of using people as a means to an end, but he's shaping the way the social culture works. So like he's antisocial, but he becomes the king of social everything, which is like some of the kind of like grand tragedy of it to me, where it's like this is the last kind of person that should be like shaping the way we speak to each other, and ultimately like probably not intentionally, of course. Like I don't want to like completely vilify the man, but like I ultimately his in a weird way, his kind of antisocial way of interacting with people and dealing with the world ends up arguably like helping to make us all like a little bit less human in the way we interact with each other. It's really sad. Like it's really kind of messed up when you think about it that way. But I really like that kind of contradiction of like it's the social network, and he's the most antisocial person you've ever seen before. Like does not understand how people work together. It's a really good Andrew Garfield performance. I think it started the trend of people asking for Andrew Garfield movies on request. I think we've done like 4 or 5 of them now. Outside of Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield movies. And yeah, it's a thing that when it came out, I had no interest in, and I was like, wow, really? They're making a Facebook movie? Because when we first heard about it, everybody was just calling it the Facebook movie, which just sounds really stupid. And it's like, well, no, it's a biopic about the man that started that. And that's a thing that's worth making because you can see the clear character study in it. But anyway, it's a thing I want to go back to. I don't have much else to say about it right now, but I thought it was deserving of being on the list.
I also really want to go back to it because that's actually historically been one of my bad takes. Is I've never really liked The Social Network.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not alone. It's kind of got no. It's got a little bit of a reputation I have found now of being kind of, or at the very least, overly appreciated, like overrated.
And I think it might have that because it is sort of in blanket kind of like consensus as like the best film of the 2010s, and it came out in 2010, and so like the whole decade it kind of was the high watermark that a lot of people were kind of holding a lot of things to. But the reason why I want to go back to it is because the last time I watched it was in 2019, and I fundamentally like changed as a movie watcher like through the pandemic, and just kind of the way I interact with like current movies and like kind of like as a viewer and as a person, like I kind of changed during that time. And I feel like I would like respond better to The Social Network. And so there's a sequel coming out later this year. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, I'm a little apprehensive about that, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's being written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, so that's going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I knew this would be on your list, so I did want to say though that like regarding like this movie though is that it. Oh shoot, I can't even remember now. Never mind. But like this is a movie I do want to revisit. And David Fincher is a filmmaker I really admire. He and I have a seemingly mutual love for a certain movie that will be on my list. But the thing that I've noticed is whenever he kind of skews towards this movie we both really like, it tends to lose me a little bit. And so I'm curious if rewatching The Social Network, if I will like respond to it better. So yeah, I'm kind of eager to watch that again.
I've never seen it.
What?
I was always just like, I don't know, it's a movie about Facebook. It doesn't have a killer car in it. I don't care. No, at some point I should watch it. I don't know.
I think you'd probably like it. I don't know.
I was 13 when it came out. I'm like, I don't want to watch a movie about Facebook. I've just never gotten back to it.
And yeah, I'm finding more and more that I really like Fincher too. I think I like him best with his crime thrillers. Because like Seven I love, and Zodiac's great, and
Gone Girl's really good.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you should. It's really good.
Came out the same month as John Wick, October 2014. We were doing good. Nightcrawler came out that month.
Nightcrawler's good. I've seen that.
Down. What is your number 76, Connor?
Yeah, this will be the last one for the evening.
All right. Well, this is going to be my my Austin pick. Friendly reminder. I I just remembered The Wages of Fear, another movie that's not going to be on this list. But I had enough room for Showgirls, and I got enough room for Troll 2, baby.
Oh my
Yes!
god.
Oh my god! That is a beautiful release of that. What is that?
This is from Vinegar Syndrome.
Oh, of course. I
Look
need
at
to
the
get
bag.
that. That's amazing.
Yeah, this I will say this box is beautiful, but all the other artwork I don't like in this set because you pull it out and like it looks like that.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean they're kind of funny drawings, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
And that's like the kind of classic little poster they make.
Yeah.
Anyways, but Troll 2, look, this is a list of favorites. I've lost count of the amount of times I've seen this movie. I find it very, very funny. Um, kind of fascinating. It's one of the most closeted films I've ever seen in my life. It is so quotable, and like you were talking about, I think with Samurai Cop, it's a bad movie, but it has like no boring stretches. Like it is
Yeah.
so so funny. So entertaining. I've shown this movie to so many. I don't know. You guys, if you haven't seen Troll 2, like this has got everything. It's got Grandpa Seth pimp slapping a goblin. It's got popcorn like sex scenes. It's got um it's got everything except for trolls. Because there are no trolls in Troll 2. They're goblins. Um yeah, and goblins, as we know, are vegetarians, so they have to like force humans to eat green paste that'll turn them into plants, and then the trolls that have no articulation in their masks will then smother the weird bio herb on their mask. Anyways, it's great. I love it. Everyone should watch Troll 2. I don't really have anything else to say. Like, it's wonderful. Experience it for yourself.
This is a couple years ago, and we only did one session. But Dan hosted a Star Wars D&D game, and my character was a Mon Calamari named Nilbog out of Troll 2. Uh, my sister and I used to always like yell at each other the tighten your belt one buckle so we don't have to feel hunger pains. It's a beautiful movie.
Can't piss on hospitality. I
I
want
want
to
to
know
know it. No, it is part of my trinity of the greatest bad movies of all time. It's beautiful.
I love it. I love it dearly. Grandpa said, I made Cap watch this movie.
You did. I remember that. Cap's just like, I also remember.
I barely remember that. It was so late at night, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still need to see Troll 1, though. All I know is that the main character is named Harry Potter.
Did we do that? Really?
Yeah.
Connor, did we do that at my house?
Yep.
Was it my
that?
old
It was
house?
2000. No, I've never been to. I never was at your old.
Oh, that's
house.
true. You weren't. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. I guess even the first time you were here, it was when I had that really crappy projector screen down here. It was like a 4x3 projector.
I don't recall that.
We watched something on it.
Yeah, Troll 2.
I remember.
No, it wasn't. It
I
wasn't
remember
that. It was
why
something.
Well,
Anyway.
now I feel embarrassed for the opposite of why I normally feel embarrassed, because my next one is Silence of the Lambs, which is not on the same level as Troll 2, but is also a great movie, and also has no goblin or no trolls in it.
That's also a good-looking release.
So apparently, this is kind of botched.
Oh,
John was
how?
telling me this the other day. I think there's an Arrow release, and Criterion just announced it, and apparently that fixes it. But apparently, this version, I think it's like the coloring is off in the movie. So
Oh, well, that sucks. Off in
yeah,
what
so if
way?
that's
Is
the
it
case, that
orange? Like,
sucks.
what happened?
I don't know. I watched it, but it had also been a couple of years, so maybe I just didn't notice whatever it
You
was.
just remembered it always being orange.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very orange movie. But no, this
I
is
wasn't sure if
another
that would
one
be
of
on your
those.
list or not.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I also really like Red Dragon.
I
I think
still
that
need to see
movie's
that.
really good. Uh, we so often go to every director is a bad movie. We should start saying more often that even Brett Ratner is a Red Dragon. Uh, that's the much more optimistic way of looking at it. But no, Silence of the Lambs, just one of those like all-time perfect movies for me. Two, not even just two, just like all around really great performances. I still remember seeing this with my dad the first time and just being like on the edge of my seat, like throughout the entire climax, where she goes and ends up at the wrong house, and that's where Buffalo Bill lives, and it's really like I said, edge of your seat stuff. It's wonderful. Anthony Hopkins, of course, is okay in it. Uh, yeah, it's just like I said, kind of just a perfect movie for me, really.
That is one of those movies that I think it like is the last movie to actually sweep the all five above the line Oscars for like best picture, screenplay, director, lead actor, lead actress. And it's a movie everyone loves, and it's on the AFI Top 100. And there's a reason for that because like you're watching like this does everything like perfectly. Like it's
Yeah,
so like well put together. It's not on my list, but like that is a
yeah.
movie I am always in the mood to watch. Like if someone goes, "Hey, you want to watch Silence of the Lambs?" Like I'm not gonna say no. Like come on, that movie rocks.
Also, because it just hit me, this movie did lead to one of the best Wayne's World skit jokes where they review Silence of the Lambs, and it turns into them doing their impressions of Miggs, the guy in the cell that, let's just say, throws something at the main character, and it's just Wayne and Garth doing a certain motion, and then Garth being like, "Ah, I'm gonna spew. It's so gross." It's perfect.
Well, it's funny you brought that up shortly after we were talking about Fincher, because I feel like that influences him super hard. Like Seven can't be what it is without that movie.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I feel like the entire like true crime, and
All
not
of
even
it.
necessarily true
Yeah.
crime, but like the entire world I'm born into is probably birthed by that movie with like CSI and NCIS and
Yeah.
uh, you know, like you said, Seven, Zodiac, like
Criminal Minds.
But I was
Yeah,
thinking
all
oh
that
my
of,
stuff.
of that in particular just because it's a serial killer movie. Like I think at the very least it changes how we make those just fundamentally.
Mhm.
No, for sure.
But yeah,
Have
crime
you
drama
seen
in general.
Manhunter?
What's that?
No, but it's getting a 4K release. They just announced it this week, and I'm
Mhm.
very excited to finally see it.
Uh, Manhunter Cap. Have you? I don't think you heard.
Yeah, I just didn't hear what you're talking about. Yeah, I've not seen that
Yeah,
either.
I've also not seen Manhunter, but because I wasn't sure if you're watching the movies as they come out in like the 80s into the 90s, like do you watch Silence of the Lambs as like a sequel to Manhunter because it's just like based on the next book?
Yeah,
Like I don't know. Like I'm just curious.
yeah, maybe. What's also fascinating with Manhunter, because the only thing I've seen from it is the Hannibal Lecter stuff, and because that's Brian Cox, and
Which is great
because that's
casting. I need to finally watch that.
yeah, and because that's an adaptation of Red Dragon, uh, that movie also has the exact same scene with the same dialogue, so you get to see like both of those performances acting like the exact scene.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
fascinating.
Yeah, Yeah, and Hopkins, of course, is very like slow and deliberate, and Cox is very like very quick and just like trying to get like ahead of you. Like he's so smart.
Cool.
It's very different. But yeah,
Well, it's kind of cool to see two like valid performances that are doing completely different things, interpreting the same
yeah,
material.
yeah, exactly.
Did the Hannibal TV show ever get to adapt that
I
particular
think that was
scene?
the last season. I don't
Oh,
know because I assume he has more screen time. Because he does in the Red Dragon movie as well. But because he the I really should.
the thing I really like about Sounds of the Lambs though is how like you have Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill, and like the more time you spend with both of them, the Hannibal Lecter kind of has like this opulence to the horror. Like it feels like high like pinkies up kind of horror, where it's like so like Wagnerian and like big and bombastic, and it's I don't know. There's something almost majestic about it.
Yeah,
And
there's an
then
elegance to it.
with the Buffalo Bill, it like becomes more and more like a grimy grindhouse movie. Like
This
it
is a
gets
hole
so
in his basement.
gross. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so gross. Like exploring those kind of two different kinds of crazy people.
Yeah,
yeah, no, good
well,
call.
I didn't have this thought until you just said it, but like the Buffalo Bill stuff informs X-Files really hard, but like just that stuff. Like that stuff is X-Files, not the Hannibal Lecter part as much. I Folks, let us know in the comments if you can still see and hear us. We had kind of a glitch a minute ago, and I'm getting an error message now from YouTube, so I don't know how well we're broadcasting right now.
I don't have the
It's
audio
yes.
on, but we're at least on. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, we're not
And
paused.
I've just got one movie to talk about real quick, so but hopefully people get to hear that part. Okay, we seem to be good now. Robert, wow, we still never seen the hole in the bat bunker, and you never will. Connor's seen it, but that's all I'll say. Anyway,
Was he
I haven't seen anything.
the
What do you think I slept? Come on, guys! Like,
At least Cap gave you lotion.
well,
in the bed,
well, you see,
and
that's so that he
yeah.
can't climb back up with the fireman pole. Because it's a bat bunker, so it's got a fireman. But anyway, my 76. This is another one I'll be real brief about. And a movie that I've seen enough to put on the list, but it's been a while, and I don't know super well. But I like it a lot, and I like it even better than the sort of pseudo remake. I think there's a lot of people that pick one of these over the other. But they're shockingly both really good. I picked the 1967 version of The Producers. We'll be curious to see if either of you guys have that on your list as well. I think for me that's Mel Brooks' best movie. I kind of wish he had made more comedies in of that ilk, and I don't want to say like less parodies because less farces because like I like his parody stuff. But that's much more of a like straightforward comedy that's not like over the top and goofing around so much, and it's set a lot more like in the world we live in, even though like the characters are wacky. It's kind of even like sitcom-y in its way. Like it's kind of got some things in common with something like The Odd Couple, but it's got Mel Brooks like somewhat like cynical comedic sensibilities, with like really likable but like not good people kinds of characters, or at least it's got one guy who's sort of a con artist and a crook who kind of convinces another person to go on the scheme with him, and it's just a really smart and fun idea for a comic premise. Um, with the idea of a um sorry, it's getting late. Of a scheme to launder a bunch of money through a crappy play that you make, where you make it fail on purpose, and then you pre-sell the tickets, and then you take all the money that that you make from that. Without ever actually putting the full show on, and then you hide that, and of course they get caught by the end. But of course, the big memorable thing that that everybody remembers from this is "Springtime for Hitler" and just the ridiculous premise of the play they tried to put on. And I again, just Mel Brooks's sensibilities and something a little bit more sober than what he usually makes, where he's still putting like really offensive material in and does not care like who he's offending, which is really fun, but within uh a story that's got a lot more of that you can suspend your disbelief a lot more for. That's got a what am I trying to say? I'm just ready to go to bed. um that's it's got more of an internal logic to it than what he usually makes. That was my big takeaway when I finally saw it. I saw this very, very late, like maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. I finally saw this movie. And the remake is impressive because it manages to be a musical about a musical. But I still like the original a little bit more, I think. And I've always been a Gene Wilder fan. And him and what is it? Zero Mostel are such a good kind of odd couple duo. But anyway, if you've only seen the '05 version and you've never seen the original producers, don't sleep on that, because I actually do think it's the better movie, and I think it got eclipsed after that came out a little bit. I don't know if people have gone back to it subsequently more, but anyway, I think it's one of the great comedies of that period.
Yeah, to my shame, I've never seen either the producers.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like
I'm shocked
I
by
am not
that.
watching a lot of your guys' either of your
Yeah.
guys' picks, like this episode, which is interesting. Yeah, I would have assumed I would have seen it by now, but I mean, I know. Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Which is a funny line.
Yeah, I don't
really
even know
want to
that.
see
I
that.
don't know anything about the producers.
Knowing that you like it so much, I'll add it to the list. I'm going to try to prioritize that then.
There's a lot of movies. Like, it's easy to be like, look, I'm a big movie fan. I guess like I'm a fake movie fan because I haven't seen these like really popular movies that people have seen. But like, even with as many things as you've watched, like, there's only so much time in your lifetime to watch movies. Like,
And look, I got to watch Troll 2 5 times more. Okay, so
Exactly. No, there's only one film where if you haven't seen it, you can no longer say you're a film fan.
oh, what is that?
The Wizard of Oz, the most famous
Most
movie
famous
ever
movie ever
made.
I wanted you to cut that off so bad and just say The Wizard. That's where I was hoping you were going with that. California.
Further, The Wiz.
The Wiz, that's what I was thinking too. Have I ever told you guys my story about The Wiz?
I think so, but go ahead.
Oh.
So when I was like 11, I came home from school. I'm all on my own. I turn on the TV and The Wiz is on, but like I don't know what it is. Like I have no way of identifying it. And it comes on, and it's right at that scene. It's like they just killed the Wicked Witch, and all of her slaves like rip their clothing off and start dancing. So like I literally turn the TV on, and it's just like these people ripping their clothes off, and they all start dancing. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this? It's on a kids channel. What am I watching?
Oh my god. I found it. So The Wiz got a Criterion release last summer, and I was like, oh, I was like looking at the back of it. Did you know
If
that movie
anybody
is
happens to
written-
click on the stream right now, they're gonna think one of us picked that in our top 100.
That's good.
But-
Yeah. Cap
Yeah.
just picked one, so it was Cap.
No, I've actually never seen The Wiz. I was in a high school production of The Wiz. I've never actually seen it.
But did you know the feature film adaptation was written by Joel Schumacher? Yes, that Joel Schumacher.
I did not know that. What?
Yes, the Bruce Dickinson. No, I did not know that Joel Schumacher wrote that.
And it was produced by Rob Cohen. Yes, that Rob Cohen, the guy who directed the first Fast and the Furious movie.
Well, and that's crazy because that would mean Joel Schumacher made that right before he did 2 vampire movies in a row with Kiefer Sutherland.
He wrote that scene where they all take their clothes off and dance, and he was like, "You know what? I need to go make 2 vampire movies with Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know what I'm doing anymore."
We
That should be
we're
what
kidding
you put on
everybody.
the
We know he
producers.
didn't make two vampire movies with Kiefer Sutherland.
Is that
If
one
you
of the
count
ideas of
Batman
the
Forever, that's
producers?
maybe another vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland's not even in that movie.
It's also not about a vampire.
No, it's not. No, I know, but neither is the other movie we were talking about, but it at least had Kiefer Sutherland in it.
I know, but just everything he made. Phone Booth is also a vampire movie
With
Kiefer
just the
Sutherland.
voice of Kiefer Sutherland
Yeah,
as a vampire forcing a man to stay in a phone booth.
that's why you don't see him. He's only on the phone because it's daytime.
Well, it makes sense. It's daytime, and he's making the guy stay in the phone booth until it's nighttime so that he can then come in and eat him. It makes
It's a
perfect
prequel
sense.
to Daybreakers. It's a prequel to Daybreakers.
Exactly.
Is that Sam Neill on the
Legion.
phone? No, it's Kiefer Sutherland, the other vampire. Anyway, well, that's gonna be our list for tonight. I don't know. We're only hitting 5 of these at a time right now, but we've been talking for 2 hours doing 5 movies. I don't know how much faster this is gonna go as we go, but I will say we will hit some duplicates eventually. Because
Yeah,
I won't name names, but you guys have already said at least a couple, if not a few, that will be on my list later on. And I'm sure there's some of that in the other direction, maybe. Because last stream,
Yeah.
Austin had some of these. And I didn't do that this stream, but there were a couple places where I could have done that.
And there's a certain syndrome one that might be high on my list.
I'm looking at what I have for the next, and I'll be brief on that one because I think it might be on one of your guys' lists.
Oh, cool. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. I will be back with another one of these next Friday night instead of Thursday, because I've got a writer's meeting, and so we won't have a request that week or a rewind that week. So we might be able to go a little bit longer depending on how things go. But anyway, appreciate everybody, and thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. I was Captain Logan, and this was Austin the Day Ghost,
Good night, everybody.
and Connor the Day Nielsen.
Good night. Get some rest, Cap.
Yeah, thanks. Bye, everybody.